Hey, what's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Much appreciated. Subscribe here, hit the like button, all that jazz. And if you wouldn't mind, also subscribing over to the WQAM page. I always tag that in the description. If you guys could do that, watch Tobin and Leroy live every single weekday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we'll get silly with it, man. You know what? We have some fun. Wild day today. We talked about this on the radio show, and that was this Rich Eisen nonsense that was going all about the Tom Brady thing. And then Tom Brady comes out and he's like, "Oh, I'm raising a cat." It's like, great, please go away. You know, raise all the cats. I hope you're like a crazy old cat lady. Just nothing but cats and fur. And imagine if you're like in Tom Brady's post-divorce life, you just walk into his house, he's got nothing but scratching posts all over the place. You know, he's sitting there with a giant ball of yarn. He has some kind of furry fetish. It's just something real weird, you know. I would just love that. Just please, good, stay away from the Dolphins. And anything that deals with that, I would be pleased with. But also got some news. Daniel Jones, he is signing for $140 million. So Giants, they locked into their guy for the next foreseeable future. And then the Lamar Jackson saga, you know, hits it where they that was like around 3 o'clock. They didn't even get to the deadline that they were going to hit him with the non-exclusive franchise tag and see what's what. The thing that was interesting in this, there's a couple of things. So the first thing that I saw was this Jeff Darlington report that said the Dolphins weren't going to pursue Lamar Jackson. He said the Dolphins will not be pursuing Lamar Jackson or any other starting QB this offseason. Multiple team sources tell me. As one source said, Mike fully believes Tua is the perfect fit for his system. Now, if you guys know this channel, you know that I've been singing that this entire time. I don't think there's a story here. I keep seeing all these things that have come out between the Rich Eisens, the Josina Andersons, the Mike Florios, the Colin Cowards. Are like, I don't know, Tom Brady's not broadcasting. It's the hurt. All of these people are coming out there, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't really think, like, the coach told you he spent like the first 6 months of the job convincing everybody he liked the quarterback. The quarterback is coming back. You know, I get the drama of the fifth year option. Like, we'll get to that when we come to it, but I think we're not all here sitting like, yeah, Tua's the quarterback for next year. He definitely earned getting the job next year. And so when I see a report like this, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that the Dolphins aren't going after Lamar Jackson. First of all, they don't have any first-round picks to give up this year. So, like, if you're going to be the Ravens and you're going to want to give up Lamar Jackson and you have that franchise tag so you can get rewarded with 2 first-round picks, the Dolphins don't have a first-round pick this year because they got busted tampering for Tom Brady, you know, who continues, the news continues to stick his beak into the Dolphins' business. Go play with your cats. But, you know, this Lamar Jackson thing, like, look, if the Dolphins were to move on from Tua, if you told me the Dolphins, hey, Tobes, Tua's not going to be the Dolphins quarterback this year. If you told me that was the case, the number one guy I would want them to go after would be Lamar Jackson. I don't understand this. I don't understand why the Jets aren't going after Lamar Jackson. All this crazy talk about going after Aaron Rodgers and the Raiders going after Aaron Rodgers and going after, you know, these people going after old people. You have a young guy in his prime MVP. I love Lamar Jackson. Like, if you told me that Tua wasn't on the Dolphins and they or even if he was, they were going to go in a different direction, bet your ass it better be Lamar Jackson. Like, that would be the guy that I would want them to go after. He's electric. You know, obviously it would be a super cool story of a South Florida kid coming home and just seems like a real one, like, as far as like accountability is concerned. And really just has never had what seems as like the proper support around in that organization, especially with surrounding him with talent. And now they're bitching about not being able to surround him with talent, which is hilarious. You know, they have a lot of players out of that organization who are complaining about the treatment of players in that organization. So I love Lamar Jackson. If you told me the Dolphins were going after Lamar Jackson because whatever, I'd be like, all right, I'll have a conversation with you. At least, you know, it shows somebody in their prime. You're going to a star. You're having a discussion. All right. This going after the old guys thing, I with what you had this last year, in Tua, I think is wildly stupid. Really, really stupid. And I get it. Lamar has his own durability flaws. Like, he has also been broken down in the last couple of years of the season, the last couple of years at the end of the season. So he's definitely got his red flags. Don't get me wrong. Has he earned his contract? Certainly. The thing that's going to suck here, what's honestly going to happen, and this is tough on timing for the Dolphins, is this looks very suspicious that you had all of these teams come out at the same time saying they're not going to pursue Lamar Jackson publicly on social media. Nobody lacks, that certain subtlety like the NFL does. And, it's a thing that owners are pissed that the Browns gave all this money to Deshaun Watson guaranteed. And just, Lamar Jackson's been reported that, yeah, that's what he wants. He wants a fully guaranteed contract. The thing is, the other teams that are in there, I think the teams that have come out publicly and said they're not going to pursue him. What did I say? I think I see Field Yates. I think he tweeted this out. The teams that have said they were publicly not going to go after Lamar Jackson: the Falcons, the Panthers, the Commanders, the Raiders, and he also lists the Dolphins. But here's the thing that's kind of crappy about that, right? The only one of these teams that had a guy who was a Pro Bowl alternate last year was the Dolphins. Like, the Falcons, they released their quarterback. The Panthers, they don't have a quarterback. The Raiders, they were starting Jarrett Stidham by the end of the year. And the Commanders, come on. So it's like one of these things is not like the other. So if the Dolphins are dragged into some collusion talk, like, there's a couple of things that stand out. One, their quarterback had a good season last year. The coach really likes their quarterback. And two, they don't have any. And three, the other thing is they don't have the assets to get Lamar Jackson because they don't have any picks to give the Baltimore Ravens. So I just find it hilarious that, like, these teams that are coming out there, they're like, something smells. I'm not disagreeing that something smells wrong about it, but it sucks that the Dolphins are lumped into that because, they have a quarterback. It's weird. Like, so you're going to be lumped into these reports of people who are not pursuing Lamar Jackson and looking like you're trying to hold his contract down and hold his salary down. And meanwhile, it's like, well, we have our own quarterback and our own salary situation. We don't have draft pick. Like, the Dolphins genuinely, I think, with the Darlington report, are trying to throw cold water because, holy crap, over the last whatever hours it was, you've had local columns that have come out. Come on, pursue Lamar Jackson. Come on, let's just kick the tires on Lamar Jackson, which I get it. He's exciting. It's a sexy story. It gets clicks. Don't get me wrong. Again, if there was a guy in this whole quarterback class that you could say that could be your quarterback and it wasn't Tua, Lamar would be definitely the guy that I would want. But then you also have this whole Tom Brady thing that just continues to get thrown out there, which, he's a free agent now, I guess, retired. So you can't really get into trouble, but the Dolphins do have to do a good job of doubling, tripling down on their backing of Tua. Why? Because they were already shitty to him during his second year. They dragged his name through rumors the entire season between Watson rumors and Brady rumors. The guy told broadcasters this season that his confidence was absolutely cracked and it needed to be built back up by Mike McDaniel. Him and Mike McDaniel have a very tight relationship and does seem like he works the system pretty perfectly. And by the way, it's not some simple thing just bringing in Lamar Jackson. I think Mike McDaniel could do it, but it's not bringing in the same type of quarterback. So yeah, you would have to tinker with a lot of stuff to build the offense around a guy like Lamar Jackson. And, one of the things that's underrated about Tua is his quick release, his ability to get to play in that danger zone with the ball over the middle. And not everybody can do that. We saw that with the other quarterbacks who played. It looked completely different. Not only because their talent level is different, but because they don't play the same style. They don't get rid of the ball. You remember watching Skylar Thompson try and get a playoff? You remember watching Skylar Thompson trying to get the ball done? And I get it. He's a rookie, but it's different. It just is. You guys saw it. You got to see it with your own eyes this year. So, look, of course the Dolphins aren't pursuing Lamar Jackson. Of course they're not pursuing Tom Brady. Just get through your heads that Tua is going to be the quarterback. I just think your life will be a lot easier. If you don't like Tua and you just are you're just a doubter. You don't believe. All right. But stop driving yourself nutty. Like, I guess tune in every Sunday and root against him, I guess. I don't know. I think life would be nicer if you would just, root for the guy. But do you? Do you and root for whoever you want to root for or grumble about who's on the Dolphins and who's not on the Dolphins. I wish we had a 46-year-old quarterback. I wish we had a 38-year-old who would do spirit quests. I wish we had, a guy who was benched for Jarrett Stidham at the end of last year. Shake your fist at the cloud, man. Be mad. But I've continued to just think, I see all these rumors. I'm like, I feel like this is the biggest non-story of the season. But because the Dolphins are such a lightning rod, because Tua is such a talking point, because it is controversial, because he had head injuries and he was already a polarizing player. There's never been a player who's been this polarizing in Dolphins history. There hasn't been. Especially nationally. I think Tannehill, doing sports radio down here, Tannehill was certainly a polarizing topic, but nobody gave a rat's ass about Ryan Tannehill nationally. Nobody. Every single time, every rarity that the Dolphins were on national TV, they kept saying, well, he was a wide receiver in college. You got to give him time. It's it's year 6. But Tua, he's just one of those guys. He is one of the one-namers who get on First Take, Undisputed, Get Up, Jet Up, Cowherd Show, PFT, whatever, because Tua debates just draw interest. And I do think it's important for the Dolphins to be out here loud, publicly saying, we're not doing anything going after. Now, this also happens to coincide with what seems to be possible collusion against Lamar Jackson. But I don't think that they should be lumped in with those other teams. I think that that's just really unfortunate timing on their part. Because Lamar deserves his money. He does. He's especially seeing the money Daniel Jones got. How is it that Daniel Jones has the Giants convinced him to give him something in the ballpark that he wants, but the Ravens are just sitting here I don't know. A little skeptical. It's crazy to me, but. Look, I hope Lamar does get a ton of dough and does eventually get what he wants. But, as far as it coming to the Dolphins, I think you could read the writing on the wall that wasn't going to happen a while ago.